For the second segment of tonight's show.
Yes.
Sorry about the delay about that, but you guys won't even notice the difference.
Nope.
But anyways, though, we're very excited about this next guest. I know Nikki is.
Oh my God.
She's really excited about it. She's been excited now for over a week now.
Yes.
So who we got coming on?
Miss Sophia Stewart. She's the creator and writer of The Matrix, Terminator. So she's written these profound, amazing works that have been transformed into some movies that have been changing the minds and lives of people forever, and just changing our perspectives, changing our mindsets, and just awakening us. So without further ado, man, we just gonna bring the queen in because it's time. We about to have this conversation. So without further ado, Miss Sophia Stewart, please join us.
To correct you on that.
Please.
Is for a single woman.
I'm Miss.
Kids, and I'm on my third marriage.
Okay, so a wife. Let me be clear, because I'm a miss. So it just slips out like that. No disrespect at all to your husband.
No, I
so
know.
Definitely not.
I know, because people always do that.
Yes.
And I tell them, they say, well, it's just a form of respect. I say, it's not if it's wrong.
Exactly. If it's incorrect, please correct me.
No,
I'm
no,
happy to.
I'm not trying to correct you. I'm just trying to let the audience know.
She got a husband, y'all.
No, a third husband.
Okay.
And it's Miss Oprah is Miss. She's never been married before, never had any kids. That's what Miss is all about.
So
Single and free and no infringes, no kids and no husband.
Oh,
miss.
See, that's a miss. So y'all, we schooling already. Y'all see the game?
Schooled already.
Get that game, girls. Get that missus on your name, right?
Well, no, I don't need that. I don't need any title. All I need is Sophia.
Miss Stewart.
That's right. No
Sophia
Miss Stewart, no Ms., no none of that. Just Sophia.
Sophia.
Yeah.
Y'all remember
So
that?
glad to have you.
Yeah,
Y'all remember
please
that when you meet her out
remember
there?
that.
Just Sophia Stewart.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, a lot of people already know because I've done over 5,000 media interviews.
That's awesome.
And so a lot of my fans and people out there, they actually know.
Right.
They know that I will correct, and I don't mean any
Oh,
harm.
no. I don't take it
But
personal.
I don't want any confusion with people out there because they mimic.
Right.
And you have to do that. You have to be
And
clear.
then I'll be hearing it and again. And so I just
You
to
got
make
to be
sure
clear.
everything- Yes.
Most definitely. And we need clarity. So I apologize for my incorrectness, but thank you for clarifying that for the people.
No, but what I love the most is that you got that I'm the creator and owner of the Matrix
You
and Terminator.
man,
so-
let me just say that.
I'm
You are
happy.
that.
Yeah.
I made sure to put that in for you.
Oh yeah, now I'm happy. That's the part that
That
I
was
have
what
a
you
problem with.
when
you know,
they get it
yeah.
they get it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, not that title stuff. You
Of
know.
course not.
Yeah, throw that out the window. Titles.
And we're gonna
They're
go
for insecure people. Titles.
that's more game. Y'all see this? The game. I'm telling you, she's fooling everybody. So, Sophia, tell
Yes.
us just about your journey with the writings and where you started, because you were explaining that before we started interviewing. So you were explaining how you started writing and where you began. So
Well, I began at USC. I'm a Trojan, so I began there in the 80s. I wrote and copyrighted a script in a book called The Third Eye, Matrix, and Terminator. Terminator End Time Revelations. Third eye, because on Earth we have two eyes, we beings, but in the heavens is the third eye, the all-eye, seeing eye of God. And the Matrix is talking about the woman's womb, her stargate, her portal to bring babies into this physical domain called the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have that stargate, gotta have that matrix, gotta have the feeding tube called the umbilical cord, the breast milk glands, estrogen running through the body to expand the matrix womb for 9 months or 36 weeks. Matrix is a 7,000-year-old Latin word for the woman's womb, mentioned 5 times in Scripture, 3 times in Exodus, 2 times in Numbers, Exodus 34th chapter, 19th verse. God said, he who opens up the matrix, or coming out of the woman's womb, or his 3-dimensional children, blood, water, and spirit, the astral body, the period, the physical body that takes 9 months or 36 weeks to develop, and then the third body, which is the seed or the soul of continuation that attaches to the physical body at the 12th week. meaning a doctor will not perform an abortion because he's killing a living soul. Now, you can do a pill after up until 11 weeks. There's nothing but blood, water, and spirit. But at the 12th week, and this is for all the people pro-life and against, so this one little element was never explained to them by any doctors. that the soul or the seed doesn't attach till the 12th weeks. That's why doctors will not perform an abortion. They do not want to, because at that point they're killing a living soul.
Right.
But before that, it's nothing but blood, water, and spirit. Just a period where you can bring down the blood and start all over again, because the astral body is just waiting for a home. But the astral body is nothing but spirit, and so it has to have the completion to be 3D.
An avatar, a sleeve.
Well, avatar is demon possession, so we're not going to call a body an avatar. That's James Cameron and demon possession. Avatar, the word avatar is about an ascending master who's able to control the elements. He's able to control the fire, the earth, the wind, the water. But James Cameron is a warlock, male warlock, so he takes the name from the video game that the children have called Avatar, about the ascending master. In the movie called Avatar, he strips that from those two elements, and they had to call their movie Airbender. Airbender, and they were talking about an ascending master called an avatar. He's called an avatar because it's just like the Dalai Lama with the Buddhism. The Dalai Lama is gonna come back, and he's gonna reincarnate, and that's who they look for, and they say, "Oh yeah, this is the Dalai Lama. He's back." But when you use it as avatar, you're talking about demon possession. Do you see what I'm talking about? Because if you look in the movie Avatar, which he stole from Disney, it's nothing but Pocahontas. A little 13-year-old boy busted him. Mm-hmm. If you go and look at Pocahontas and cross off some names, and he just changed some names, that's all, you will see that Avatar is talking about demon possession. Because anytime you take a body and occupy that body and go over to these groups of people which are natives, but he stole Time Spirit 1985 from this guy, Stephen J. Perry. Because that's where the blue people with the tails and the bow and arrow, that's where that come from. But in the movie, he's talking about demon possession, because anytime you go and get somebody's body and occupy their space and go sabotage a whole race of people, that is demon possession. I'm sorry. A lot of people who are involved in conscious knowledge knows this. But the sheepish people, they think avatar means something else, a body. Have you ever noticed that? They call it my avatar, my body.
Right.
Well,
That's
yeah.
not your body.
That's
Your
how
body
I
is not-
refer to it, but from westernized,
Culture.
doctrination, westernized culture. But yeah,
Yeah, but if you look
that's
up
what
the
I was
word,
understanding to be an avatar. I didn't know that it was
Yeah.
considered to be a demon.
it is demon possession. Because if you look up the word avatar, it'll tell you from the Buddhism or Hinduism, it's a ascending master who can control the elements. Mm-hmm. And there was a video game out and a movie that was getting ready to come out, and James Cameron made them change their movies to Airbender.
Yeah, because the movie Avatar isn't even based on the actual Avatar, which was Airbender.
That's right. That is the actual movie. And you can pull it up. There was a popular video game called Avatar, talking about Ascending Master, and it had a lot of traction. Then they decided to do a movie, and that movie was called Avatar, like the game, had a lot of attraction, and James Cameron somehow made them give up that name so he could teach demon possession.
They do that with a lot of things.
Well,
For sure.
in Hollywood, it's the cabal. It's a lot of witches and warlocks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In Hollywood, a lot of people don't think of it that way. I'm sorry, but I hate to bust people's bubbles, but Matrix is about unplugging you.
Right.
Unplugging you from the programming, unplugging you from the ignorance and the lies and the innuendos and, waking up the sheep so they won't be led to slaughter. That's what God's whole message was. And the Matrix, they didn't even know what the word Matrix meant. They thought that they could try to copyright it or trademark it. And I told them, oh, no. It is like cola. It's a generic. You can't trademark or copyright cola, but you can Pepsi
Put a brand
Cola.
on it. Exactly.
Or RC Cola, Shasta Cola. Do you see what I'm talking about? Coca-Cola. So I copyrighted and trademarked The Matrix.
With the on the top.
With the.
There
the
you go. See,
the
smart.
third eye.
Yes.
The Terminator.
So you put that
The
and was
Matrix.
able to trademark it based
That's
off that.
right. Once you put the there,
It becomes a
it
trademarkable
becomes a
thing.
trademarkable thing.
Look at you.
Oh, I
Very
teach
smart.
trademark and copyrights. I'm an attorney, and
Okay.
I know a lot of laws: contractual law, RICO law, which is criminal law, commercial liens. That's a whole nother law. Tax laws, where I scored a 98 on the IRS exam, and they wanted me to come and work for them.
Okay.
And I was doing 1099 OIDs when some of their own agents could not do them. And I was teaching people how to do them. You know what I'm talking about? Where you can forgive debt with the OIDs. And so,
Okay.
yeah. But God gave me that knowledge. I'm a prodigy. A prodigy is a polymath, or a person that's well-versed in a multitude of math. They may be well-versed in physics, where you see the scientists and the doctors and so forth. Calculus, which is calculating. Trig. Ancient sacred geometry, where you take this straight line, will get you there faster than going around in a circle.
Right.
If you take the straight line, you're going to go right there
Straight
in
to
New
it.
York minutes. Straight to it. You see what I'm talking about? These maths. And you know about them because the movie Hidden Figures.
Right.
A prodigy is like a little girl that gets her degree at 12 years old, and she's a prodigy, so she goes and works for NASA. But she's teaching them math. That's what she's doing. When you saw the women's Hidden Figures, that's who started the space programming and everything.
Right.
Were not the people that they claimed.
It usually isn't.
That's right.
It's usually
Hidden
not.
figure means that they were hidden and sort of a little abused because they had to use the bathroom in another building.
Right.
Yeah.
And really go through a lot of, embarrassment,
Discrimination
and stuff like that.
Of course.
So
you're kind of breaking the codes on things.
Oh yeah, I'm cracking.
Because you're
those
literally
codes.
like taking movies and breaking them all the way down. So, like for your brain, the way it works, is it from a beginning when you were like, I guess you said you were a prodigy. So from the beginning, was this something that you always were able to do? Like you could kind of see through certain things, or you could see through the red tape. Like that doesn't really make sense. Let me expound on that.
Well, I am a seer, a prodigy like Tussler and Leonardo da Vinci. These are polymath. What we do is like the movie Beautiful Mind.
Yes.
Remote reviewing. What we do is we crack codes. We can go into any system and crack the codes. We can crack the codes on your guys' phones and or any kind of codes are safe. It's a piece of cake because we're dealing in every form of math. And I'm ambidextrous, so I got both strength and same strength. So if I was a boxer, the doctor would tell you have the same strength, so I can knock a guy out with either hand. That's right, and you wouldn't see it coming because you got the same strength. And how do a doctor know? When you go in, the doctor will tell you to squeeze his hand. And and then that's how they know, because one hand is always weaker than the other. Right. So some people are left-brainers, they're left-handers. Some people are right-brainers, they're right-handers. But every so often you'll get the ambidextrous person, and this is dealing with the brain, and this is consciousness. You see that screen right there?
Right.
When you are a right-brainer, you start from the middle and to the right. That's all you see. Look, from right in the middle to the right is all you see.
Okay.
When you're a left brainer, from the left to the middle is all you see. Now, when you're ambidextrous and you see a car accident,
You see it all.
you see it all.
So you're
Now-
like objective in view.
That's right. You have remote reviewing where you see the whole picture.
Wow.
But when you're right brainer, you just see half of the picture to the right. And left-handed people, left brainers, they see from that.
Scope over on the left, or
From the
from
left.
that vantage point.
Yeah,
of
from the middle
left.
to the end of the left.
Ah.
And it's dealing with, the brains is dealing with certain things, creativity, logics. So you're more gifted in certain things depending on right or left-handed.
Right.
So I always explain this to people, but I break it down because
What do you
you've
feel
heard
like?
you've heard all of this stuff before,
Right.
but you're missing the little fine points in the details, and so I give the details.
You break it all the way down.
So when an accident happened, this is why you see the cops. Say it's 5 people there. Well, this person is going to give this account.
Right.
And
Exactly.
It's like, and that person is going to give that account, but those 2 people kind of see
It's
somewhat
similar
the same
somewhat.
thing. Then there's another person that comes in and talk about something, and both of you
Totally
are like,
different. Yeah.
well, wait a minute, I didn't even see that
Right.
at all. What's going on here? And this is why cops take.
Different accounts of
Accounts.
of actual occurrence of something.
That's right, because they know.
To bring it all together, it will be the entire story.
That's right.
Okay.
They know about right
Love
brainers,
it.
left brainers, and people who are ambidextrous, and people who just see stuff that others do not see. They do not miss details.
I do have a
Right.
question for you.
Sure.
So there is a theory or concept of like that we only use a percentage of our brains.
That's so true.
If for you, is it like with being a prodigy or being ambidextrous in your thinking or having that remote review, as you say, would you say that you're exercising more of the brain function in that
I'll
way?
tell you exactly who I'm like without any drugs. Because
Without
always,
limitless or
right, that's right. People are without Limitless,
Right.
the movie,
Right.
with Lucy, I'm like Lucy, but without
Right.
the drugs.
That's what came to me.
What happened to her was the drugs. She was a mule, a carrier with the balloons, and it burst inside of her. And as the drug escapaded, it started
Activating.
evolving her brains, evolution. She was starting to access certain informations of the brain, and as the drug spread, she went into infinity.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where you disappear sometimes.
Literally where you dissipate because you literally turn into pure consciousness, which is crazy to me because I'm like, to imagine that function, that high level of brain function, like I can't, because I feel like I've only operated in a certain level, and even to tap into that, it takes a lot of like work and commitment and dedication to get to that. I feel like we can, but to imagine being able to do it, to think on that level, to be able to access certain things,
You can do
you get
it.
glimpses of it sometimes.
Well, I can teach people how to
Can you?
Of course. It's
Oh
a piece
my
of cake for me, how to access those levels of the brain. And it's very simple because during the Neanderthal period of time, the O positive blood was the ancient bloodlines.
Right, that's why it's unique.
So if you tell me your bloodline, I'll tell you who you are and where you came from. Because it was never about the skin. The skin is nothing but a cover. It is
It's a
not
shell.
you at
Shell.
all.
Right.
There are black people with white skin that are passing for white. And there are, of course, white people with dark skin, the color of my skin. But when they have babies, it's DNA is white. They're children. But there's some black people that have silky blonde hair and blue eyes. Can you imagine? Silky blonde hair and blue eyes, white skin, but what will come out of them is nothing but black.
Right.
I mean, totally black, like over in Kemet, what
Like
you call
dark,
Kemet,
yes.
or totally black, just like at Eden or the motherland.
Most definitely.
Because there's no such thing as Afro-American or Africans or Negroes or niggers or colored people. Those are labels that are created in yes ma'am and
Political.
no sir and queens and czars and pharaohs and duchess and queens and countess. They were all created as a caste system.
That's what I was about to say.
That's all, a caste system.
To distinguish people from
To make people
different
feel that they're on a lower level
than someone else.
Because no one is underneath you and no one is above you, as we are one collective consciousness.
As one.
Unless you are an amoeba, a living organism, such as a seedless grape, a seedless watermelon, a seedless orange, and the dogs and the cats and the insects and the birds is like, oh, what the heck is humans eating? Because they're eating something living, but it's nasty. It's an amoeba,
Right.
a one-dimensional organism.
Right.
And they won't eat it. Now, if your brains were taught to process, you would see what it really is. But your eyes and brains is taught programming or subliminals.
That temporal.
So what you see is a watermelon and you see a grape and an orange that are seedless, but the dogs, the cats, and the insects and animals, other animals, they're seeing something totally different.
Do you believe that's because they're acting in their true nature? Because, of course, if you're in your true nature, then you're going to operate under that scope.
Well,
But
you
the
have
programming
to
causes.
be-
Go ahead.
I'm sorry for cutting
No,
you
it's
off.
okay.
You have to be taught to process and to see, because you've never been taught this.
Right.
But we were doing telepathy way before vibrations ever hit the earth.
That's true.
Before the spoken word, which is vibration, ever came upon the earth. We were already operating with
Communicating that way.
telepathy, which I still could do telepathy and a whole lot of other these old laws and rules and stuff. I still have knowledge of them and know how they work and stuff. There's a lot of people like myself here, but a lot of them, they keep themselves low profile. They won't reveal any knowledge because God says, my people perish because of a lack of knowledge. Here's a man that's a billionaire. And then here's a man that's a pauper. He's poor. But there's no difference between the two because crazy people can be billionaires. That's right.
Ignorant people
Fat
can be
people can be
billionaires.
billionaires.
A lot of
Right,
ignorant people
exactly.
out of billionaires.
Ignorant people can be billionaires.
And then very intelligent, enlightened people
Can be billionaires.
Right. So either
So
way.
there is the only difference between this billionaire and this man over here that's a pauper or he's poor, he has knowledge that he does not have. And so that's why God says, my people, they perish because of a lack of knowledge.
Right.
And he says over here, right across the pyramids, know thyself. Because if you don't know who you are, a man will come and enslave you, and he will create a story about you, and it will be called your history, but it'll be his story.
And it'll literally be your narrative for
That's
yourself.
right. And you will go and mimic it.
Yep.
And you will become what you're
What they're saying.
mimicking
Exactly.
because you're
That's it.
mimicking.
Generational demise.
That's it.
That's right. But you're going in that because you don't know who you are. So if someone doesn't know who they are, hell,
Someone could
I can go
mimic
out right now and make a slave out of 1 million people or
Exactly.
billions of people, 7 billion people on earth. If you own, look, radio, newspaper, magazines, billboards, television, movies, those are programming. Those are called airwaves. And what did God says? The devil, which is an Ebonic word for the evil, that's all devil is. Look at the word the, T-H-E, evil, or D is in David, the Ebonic evil. That's all the devil is. The evil. And what is the evil? Is going in the wrong direction. L-I-V-E, living. I'm going forward. I'm living. I'm full of life. But look, the same word going backwards is E-V-I-L. It's an anagram. When it's going forward, it's L-I-V-E. When it's going backwards, an anagram for evil, E-V-I-L, because evil is going in the wrong direction.
Right.
And God says there can only be one. He said there can only be one energy, that if you believe in two is bi. Bi is deceiving, deception, duality, duplicity. Descartes, the philosopher. A lie.
The devil is the father of lies.
That's right. But who is the devil? I asked God. I said, God, who is the devil? Because man is lying and sin is some demon with horns on his head and cloven hoofs and stuff like that.
Right.
And God says, no, man is the evil, the beast that enslaves his own kind for the love of money.
Power.
No,
Fame.
a man is the beast. Man, or a kind of man. Mankind,
It's different from man.
or a kind of man, because it all starts with bestiality, the two
the
lineages.
lower nature. And then,
No.
Go ahead.
You're dealing in physical bodies. See, there are two ways of seeing here. When people speak, they speak on a conscious level. They're talking about the ego, the id,
Right.
the conscious, subconscious. No, I am talking about a physical lineage where in the Bible, chaos came from this lineage, and God's children came from this lineage. It was two physical lineage. Mankind, man, and mankind, or a kind of man. And this was called bestiality. Over here, Cain. And what did man do? In the Bible, Genesis, there's no such word as Genesis. It's an anagram for two words. Genesis. Let's turn it around. It's two words. It's Isgenes. Genesis is genes.
So the beginning.
It's an anagram for his genes. And what was the beginning? No, God's children was already multiplying over the whole earth. But what happened in Eden when Atom, not the Adama, not a man, Atom means an A-T-O-M, an atom.
That split, right?
Was spliced. It's called cloning.
Right. An atom. An actual atom.
When Eve was cloned from the rib of Adam's, that's cloning.
To make
That's what
another.
cloning, because let me teach you what cloning is. They give you a little aspect, but I studied to be
Break it
a
down.
lawyer and a doctor, so I'm going to break it down where even a little kid will see the truth, and he's coming out of the womb. He already has the knowledge of God until he goes to school, and kindergarten to 12th grades, you're programmed, indoctrinated, and the knowledge of God is removed from you, and the programs are put into you. This is why a lot of people that drop out, they are able to create and become multimillionaires and billionaires because they don't do 12 years of programming. And the Japanese and the Asians and other people, they don't go to school for 12 years. There's no need to go to school. What the hell are you going to learn for 12 years
And
that
you're
you
not
didn't
learning.
learn in the first 6 years?
But you're not learning anything.
No, you're being
Then you go
programmed.
for another 8 so that you can work.
Well,
That's
college.
right. Well, you're being programmed even more. And then you have
20 years.
you're dealing with, like I told you,
Debt
so
and-
television, radio, newspaper, magazine, billboards, commercials. You're being programmed
Constantly branded every day.
every minute,
Every day, every moment,
every
all the
moment,
time.
every second. You'll put to sleep.
There's a movie. Have
Then
you
when you sleep, your subconscious do the same thing.
Well, that's what it attacks. It attacks
If
your
you're not-
subconscious mind. That's what the branding is doing. It's literally going there. The conscious mind isn't
She's
even
right.
what's being attacked. It's really the subconscious that they're getting to. So that's where like you're creating and manifesting from, because that's your actual inner mind. So you create from there. So when you manifest something, that's where it's coming from. That's why it's very important for. I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, go on. No, go
That's
on.
where it's important
Excellent.
for you to like really be careful what you intake, because it's not so much the conscious mind that you're actually intaking any of the negativity or the program. It's the subconscious. That's where it all goes, and that's where you create from and manifest that dark matter. That's where you really build and create your life and structure everything. And when you start seeing things taking place in physical form, it's coming from subconscious thought. And you're not even cognizant of it half the time. You just be like, oh, how did I get into that relationship? And it's because of the vantage point in which you see relationships and what you've taken and the trauma and all those things go into the subconscious.
But see, how can you do that once you realize? You know what I'm saying? It's like you a done deal if you already see trauma, and then how do you not unconsciously and subconsciously intake that? Like,
But you,
I'll use me for example. My mind is not always the best place. I know I got a good heart.
right?
I know I got an evil mind.
No, you don't have an evil mind. You have evil intent. See, the mind is...
My mind torments me.
No.
To
Your
me,
mind,
that's evil.
No, listen, your mind doesn't torment you. The mind is created phenomenally. The brain is created phenomenally. What is going on is your emotions and your intent. Look, if you go out and kill a man, the DA is going to look at your intent. Premeditated, intentional. Do you see what I'm talking about? But your mind didn't tell you to go kill the man. Whatever you ate and drank and altered your brain is what told you to go kill the person. Or if you have monkey blood, or you have dog blood, snakes, the reptilian.
So reptilian, I was just
up,
about to say the reptilian.
walking up
Yeah,
like a man.
that's crazy.
Because a sheep, you might have pig blood. You make pig vows that can fit in you. That can't fit in other people. They die. But people who are mixed with swine, because the blood tells you
what to do?
No. The blood tells you who you are. Not your skin. Not the word racist, because there are no races. The word race is racist. The word race is racist. There are no races. There are tribes.
Exactly.
And wait a minute. The tribes all had different skin coverings.
Indigenous.
Well, the
Aboriginal.
coverings are what they are. They're just a cover. They may be there for environmental reasons. They may be there to protect you from the UV rays or a whole lot of stuff, or the wind, or the weather, or the ice, or whatever. But it's for a reason, but it's not who you are.
True.
The blood defines who you are. And let me explain that, because man started mixing with the animals, and it's called Sodoma and Gomorrah, sodomizing and gundaria. That's why you look on YouTube and you see people got diseases that you're like, where did these diseases come from? This is horrible, because they had sex with a cow, they had sex with a donkey, they had sex with a sheep, they had sex with a pig, a snake, anything that had a hole, man stuck his penis in. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's true. And how do we know? Because you can go on YouTube and Google and look at the babies born with tails. All kinds of tails that doctors have cut off.
That's true.
And left
that
on.
Extra little reptilian piece of the spine, and they're like, oh, that's a little piece of the spinal cord, and you're like, whose kid comes out like this?
It's worse than that, because you'll see them with claws
or
dog babies.
Yeah, they'll look like hooves and stuff.
Because a lot of times they're living when they come out in the hospital, but the doctors sometimes will kill them and put them in pathology and put them in jars so they can study them.
They do that with a lot of...
But I'm going to tell you what they used to do. If you remember the movies In the Attic, back in the day, back in the 1800s and so forth, in certain periods of time, they would hide these children in the basements and the attics. And then when the circus and the carnivals would come by, they would sell them or give them away. And they became the freak shows, the freaks.
Right.
But they didn't tell you it was bestiality.
I have a question, Miss Stewart.
Yeah.
Or Sophia.
Yes, Sophia. Thank you.
So from a conceptual perspective, the idea of bestiality and animals and sexuality and all this is more of a mankind thing. And when I say that, because you're speaking about race beyond, we're not talking about race, we're talking about, a collective consciousness and the bloodline and all that, which is totally next level. But then my question is, I'm bringing it down a little for a second. But what I've seen, or what the reference has been, is that the idea of like the melanated man or the man of antiquity, which is like melanated, us, didn't.
Well, I don't go with all of those
Okay.
chemicals because the body is not really us.
Well, I should
Because
say,
you know we
our
exist
shell.
outside of the body. Now
Right.
let me tell you who we really are and who the body is. The body is actually whatever the bloodline is.
Okay,
If you give me your blood, I can tell you who you are, and I can tell
Right.
you what you're mixed with,
right.
what your lineage is, who your ancestors are, and they called it mythology,
Right.
but they had the giants, and they had the dinosaurs, and they had
Cyclops
the the fairies, and
Centaurs
the
and
trolls,
stuff,
and
yeah.
the centaurs, and Pegasus, the horse with wings, because they had sex with the animal, with the horse, and the angels, the unicorn with the horn, and the horse with the horn in his head, the cyclops, the eye in the middle of the head, and
Very mystical in that way.
Anubis, the jackal-head man,
Right.
and
Egyptians.
the Minotaur, or Medusa, the woman with snakes on her head, and all these things had to be destroyed during the flood. That's right. That's why the flood came about, was to wipe out all these monsters,
Mm-hmm.
all of what you saw what he was doing actually.
Right.
Had to wipe all them out. In the earth even opened up, cracked up, and swallowed a lot of them. And the dinosaurs, they don't look anything like they're portraying them on Jurassic Park. They didn't create it something so it's less scary, but kind of scary so you won't be looking into it.
Right.
But
More
if you
mystical,
go
where
to,
you won't question
that's
it.
right. But if you go to an encyclopedia, if somebody else still got them from the 1800s, and this is where the collectors come in. They
Yeah.
got all these books with the truth in them and pictures, and you say, "Wait a minute, we never seen anything like that. What is this?" And
That's true.
you
The
won't know.
custodians hold all the information, man, and they hide it. Like,
Oh yeah, they
you
hide
have
it
to
and they
seek it
wipe
out.
out the people who are 110 years old, because these people for 100 years, a century, saw history and saw the truth. So they're going to kill them out so they can just continue to create his story, which they call history.
So
They're
who's
gonna-
his story? Is it that's what I guess that's what
Well,
I'm going back to.
the one
is
who-
is it the shell of the lighter European Eurocentric man,
Well-
or is it the melanated man with that shell? Because
Well, there's no such thing as the Europeans or whatever they.
okay,
those are,
well,
those-
not
those
I
are-
should say.
No,
lighter.
listen.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
If you would suspend the body for one moment and forget that it even exists,
Right.
then you could see the truth that if you looked at us, all you would see is light or a lack of light. If someone is on the dark side, then you will see darkness. And if they're on the animal level, you'll see a
So you'll be
reddish
able to see
glow,
that aura.
which people call auras.
Yes, I was about to say you can see
They
the
call
aura.
them auras. But actually, these people are gifted in seeing who you really are.
So your actual nature.
You're not these bodies. If you would suspend that and throw that, because they keep you entrenched in the body. If they keep you entrenched in the body, you will never see the truth that these bodies wear out. They're transportation. It's just like
Yep.
me going
A
getting
vessel.
in my car,
Mm-hmm.
and I got tinted windows, and you can't see in there. No, listen, you can't see in there.
Oh, yeah.
So who's driving that car? You see what I'm talking about? And the car is doing what I want it to do. It's
Right.
mimicking what I want it to mimic. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Well, just think of your body as a car.
As a
Transportation.
vehicle.
It's a vehicle. It's
Right.
transportation. That's all it is. And you have to have this transportation because we're in a physical world and you need transportation to experience food, sex, drinking,
the temporal things.
all of the things that you need to experience, because you can't experience it in the astral body, which
No,
is
you
spirit.
can't.
All you're gonna have is like, if I'm an alcoholic, I'm gonna
Might
have
be addicted
100
too.
spirits around me watching me drink and wishing that, can
you
I just
tied to
occupy
that.
your body for a moment so I can get to do that again? Or if you're a drug addict, can I occupy your body so I can get to shoot up again?
That's why they
Or
recommend food
if
to
you
cremate.
are sexually addiction, can I use your body so I can go have sex with 20 people or 30 people?
Mm-hmm.
So I can experience that. That's why they say when you're drinking liquor, it's called spirits in it.
That's why it's called spirits.
That's why it's called
Yes,
spirits,
look at that.
because
Wine and spirits, house
all
of spirits.
addictions have spirits. That's
Some
the
type of
part they
entity
don't tell
attached to
you.
it. That's true.
That's the part they do not tell you.
But that's why all liquor stores have that name, House of Spirits.
That's right, the House
Wine
of
and
Spirits, because that one is more dominant and more common. But all of the addictions, whether you're a drug addict, alcoholic,
Food or anything.
or sex addict, or coffee addict, or whatever. There's all kinds of addictions that goes. The list is long and distinguished.
That's true.
They won't tell you that. There's certain ones that they keep playing in your mind and programming you with to keep your mind from going over here and seeing the truth.
That's true.
They keep you right here. And
Locked into that, you never really have an ability to go off and
Well,
kind of learn.
exactly. Or you won't wake up and see.
'Cause
They
you locked
don't
into
want
that.
you to see.
That's true.
Because once you start seeing, you
can't
start
unsee it.
correcting.
You
Well, that's
can't
right.
unsee it.
When that's right. You can't unsee
You
because
can't.
your brain is altered.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of people go out and do psychedelics and drugs. They want to alter. Like, try to tell them that is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You will take some drugs and never come back.
It can
You will take
literally
some-
drive you out of here.
That's right. You will take some meth and you'll be in some home, but you won't even know you'll be
Right.
locked in some dimension. It could be a terrible one. It could be a horrible one, and you'll be reliving it over and over. Can you imagine you take too much LSD and all you see is spiders?
Or Groundhog
And-
Day.
Yeah.
Like that.
Can
Or
I-
you
can
get
I say
locked.
something?
Oh yeah, please.
I tried it one time.
LSD?
Some crazy shit. I don't know. Might as well be.
Oh.
Maybe that's
Oh,
why
dude.
your mind is tormented, because
Yeah,
it
she
will
said that. You
alter.
did say that.
It will
But
alter your
I
perception.
took some salvia.
Right. Go on.
You know what that is?
No, but you're gonna tell me.
I don't even know what it is. I was in
Oh,
LA and
okay.
the first time them white boys got me.
Well,
Never happened again.
they could have told you a lie.
I thought it was weed.
Because maybe if they
They do
listen,
lace stuff
let
like
me tell you
that.
something. A person will give you something, they'll tell a lie. When you find out the truth, you might beat the hell out of them.
But no, it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't, I didn't see no demons.
No, you don't. This is the deal. Everybody see everything differently. It has to do with your experience in life.
It scared the shit out of me though, but I didn't see no demons.
What did you see that scared you? Because fear is false evidence appearing as
Number
real.
one,
Well, there you go, because it is
The
an
one-
illusion.
Yeah,
the
it's
one
false
the
evidence
guy that was in
appearing
front
as
of
real.
me. See, I tapped into some real shit because they be talking about this how everything's not real and it's
Simulation, yeah. It's
like
true.
if you can match the frequency of this table, you can put your pen, all that shit. They knew something was gonna happen because they was filming me.
Mm-hmm.
And you know I'm a weed smoker, so
They experimented on
I'm
you
like,
they put.
I'm
you
not.
know,
Ain't no weed gonna do nothing.
You
I don't
know,
care
when
if it's
they
the
did
chronic,
the,
this, that.
Yeah,
the
like
soldiers.
But when I hit it,
Tuskegee Airmen and
the
all that.
Tuskegee
The
Airmen,
dude Pixel.
They experimented on him and they filmed it because they wanted to see what it was going
I
to do.
tapped into something, and the dude pixeled out in my face, like a whole like pixels. He pixeled out.
Well, I'm going to tell you what that was about. That's
He
called,
just said, "Brrr," and that's what freaked me out.
Listen, that's time travel. All the new TVs, they break up into. Have you ever seen that? Whenever
see,
you can't get a clear
It's a
picture,
pixelation.
it pixelate like. Well, that's time traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you open up a portal? That's how a portal opens up, and that's why that person was able to come through, and you were able to see him. The
Mm.
pixelation is portals. They don't tell you because it was never on the old TVs. It's all on the
He
new
pixeled
ones.
out.
I have a question.
I jumped
Off
back.
topic.
I froze up.
Oh,
Y'all
okay.
gonna let me tell my story?
I was about to. I just had another question. I didn't want to
Okay.
forget. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
He pixeled out,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me jump back like this, and then I got stuck in my mind, I can think, but I can't move.
Yeah, your body froze up.
And then I panicked at that. Like, I felt paralyzed for a quick
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
paralyzing.
were paralyzed because it was an evil presence. And that's what happens when demons or devils or anything that's not of good, it paralyzes you.
The pixelation, like his nigga shirt. That's how it did.
Yeah, but that's exactly how.
And his whole body just started going into little pieces like that in my
because
face.
that's how portals open up.
And I jumped back.
But they don't tell you guys this, so that's why you're not familiar with it. You see it on television because the television does that. Have you ever seen a television pixelate?
I have.
Well, that's a portal opening up.
But see, if you let me get into it, then I'm telling you. Then I got stuck.
Okay, go ahead.
And I couldn't move. And then I looked up, and now that's the part. I seen space and
Time and
some shit. I'm like it was like a hurricane of space was coming down, and that's when I broke the paralyzation. I took off, started running.
Yeah, because fear set you free.
And I'm at the door, and
Or the truth.
people grabbing me. That's when I came back to.
But it's either one. Fear or the truth set him free because
But I don't know what it's all. But it
they
wasn't.
always show black people when they see too much
pixelization
reality.
and galaxies.
They actually run. They actually snap out
Yeah, that
of
was
it
too much
and
for
they
me.
run.
Just like that.
But some people actually freeze when they see truth coming. Like if you see a car coming at you at breakneck speed, you either freeze
fight or
up
flight type of thing where you
or
run
fear flight, which is his adrenaline.
I
His
usually take
adrenaline to
I'm gonna do
kick in.
something.
Right.
Well, that was the adrenaline. Your adrenaline kicked in because of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what broke you out of that whole mindset.
That's the only thing. It put me in a super adrenaline rush. That's the part I didn't like.
Yeah, I know.
Because it made me act crazy quick.
Well, it saved your life, actually. That's what adrenaline does. It snaps you out of something and make you move and bring you back to reality. Because you either, just like she said, fright or flight, you're either going to run or you're going to be frightened and paralyzed, or you're going to flight or you're going to run and move out of the way of that.
I did all of
that
that.
That danger or fear,
18-wheeler.
whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. 18-wheeler, fear or danger or whatever is opposing your godly will.
Okay, I have a question. James,
Are we done?
That was just my story. I had to get that out. That was a true story.
Like, how do you feel, or what is your take on like astral projection?
Astral projection, just like I told you, everybody here are not three-dimensional beings. The astral body is the first of God's children. That's why God says that his children comes out of the womb. The womb is the matrix.
Right.
Those are God's children. Exodus 34th chapter, 19th verse, God said, he who opens up the matrix are mine. So God is telling us all the children that comes out of a woman's womb, including the animals, female animals, the female sheep, the female pig. There's certain females that are going to have...
There's no way in this world unless you come through that porthole. You said that before.
What now?
The woman is the porthole to this
universe.
Well, that's right.
Natural.
The matrix, her womb.
Anything living was birthed on this planet.
No. Anything of God's children comes through the matrix.
Well, that's, yeah.
But man's children come... That's right. Man's children come through the lab rats.
Mm-hmm.
Man goes into...
Test tube babies.
That's right. Petri dish babies. Artificial inseminated babies. Drones. Clones. Gender benders. Gender manipulated babies. Anything that a man can alter and change and create in the lab is just these amoebas.
Mm-hmm.
They're living organisms, but you don't know what the hell they are.
Right.
Because they don't have any seeds.
Everything
they don't
with a
continue
seed.
it. They don't have a, like all of God's, there is no end. It's just a beginning. It's a cycle, a circle of continuation, whether it's the water, the rain. You see the water,
The seasons.
the air,
Yeah.
we're breathing, the sun, the earth. It is a rebirth.
That's
The moment
amazing.
somebody is dying, somebody's being born. The moment somebody's being born, someone is dying. Rebirth, continuation, the atom, over
cycle.
and over and over. But man, lab rats, they have a beginning and an end.
That's
Where
true.
they begin, they end. There's no continuation because there's no seed. If an apple has seeds and we eat the apple and the seeds in it, we throw the apple, the wind will come and blow the seeds to the ends of the earth.
And plant another tree.
And the water will come and rain, and the trees, the apples will grow, and the oranges and the lemons. Everything that God has created has a continuation of life. So it doesn't need no help from you.
Reproduce.
It doesn't need you to clean the air. It doesn't need you to help with the earth. If some land falls into the earth, guess what? Or to the water.
Right.
Here go the islands popping up in the water, land, new land,
Cultivates it. And
being rebirth.
Burn a
becomes
forest fire.
And it
Trees
takes
growing,
yeah.
burn up
Faster.
them. 100 years, here go the trees growing back.
Yep.
1849, the gold fields drained out. Man, was so green. Go there now, plenty of gold. Where a lake used to be here 20 years ago, go there now, it came back.
That's true. It is the mother
The work
principle.
of God.
The mother principle.
I don't even know where man gets off thinking, well, we need to save
That
the
you're
earth.
necessary. I know.
We need to save the air. We need to save the sun. We need to put a switch on it, and if we could, we'd get over.
See, they do
But that's
that.
just to capitalize on the idea.
Thank God they can't put a switch on the air and the sun.
Man, if
They're
they
working
could,
on
if they could literally harness that or
They're
the
working on
sun
it.
to make it rise and set,
What
and
he
you pay
said-
for it,
he-
no,
he
he's
said
right.
they're
They're
working
working
on
on
it, but it's all for nothing because there's no way you can put a switch on the air. There's no way you can put a switch on the sun.
There's aspects of
They can't
control you
even.
can't.
They even figured out how to block it out.
Yes,
They do
they're
have
trying to
ability to
block
control
it
weather.
out. Now listen,
I think they've already done that to a certain extent.
they're trying to block it out, but God dissipates all of that. Mm-hmm. No, it's real. He will
The sun's gonna
dissipate.
shine through eventually.
He will dissipate. Thank you. He will dissipate all of that. They don't have a chance. They don't have a chance. I'm just telling you now with God. They'll tell you some lies now. They told
Some.
They
Yeah.
tell so many lies and try to.
A
No, that's
multitude.
it. That's it. They try to
Multitude
tell
of
you
lies.
like so many lies to make you think it's something they can do, but there
Yeah.
are very much so restrictions on the things that they're able to execute. But they'll put the fear in you and try to tell you the lie to be like, well, this is what we're gonna do and this is how we're gonna execute it. And it's like you're not gonna be able to pass off and do that, unfortunately. So they'll put the fear in and indoctrinate you to think they can, like with the weather control and the HARP and all that. But as I've learned and started navigating, I'm like, there's limitations, because if it was that easy for them to control all the elements and all of that, there would be so much more that they would have already done. So for me, it's more so
I believe
about.
they've done it. The Katrina.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's
all
what they
these
want you to
forest
think.
fires on cue, like the forest fires work for them
well,
motherfuckers.
see, they're using Tesla's.
Them niggas go on tour.
They
They're
use
using
technology,
Tesla's technology called the sun.
Chaos on tour. That's what we got in
But
America.
they use technology to manipulate.
Come
the
into a
elements.
city near you.
But I don't think they can actually like
Get your
literally
tickets.
control all of it. But they can manipulate it, true. And even with Katrina, like there was a natural occurrence in regards to them maybe manipulating the elements to create a hurricane. But what happened with that was they brought about enough water, or it brought about
Pandemic.
to literally They created it, like she
That's
said,
what
in
I'm
a
trying
lab.
to tell you. They making. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they,
but
they
this
do
is a
control
part of.
shit.
But this is a part of a plan anyway, and this is that whole going back to the Matrix thing, because it's like
They
they
control
literally but they want you to
our
think
health.
That's what I learned.
Our politics, our education, and sometimes our weather, all our transportation. That's
Well, it's
the truckers.
programming.
Look, they just going through. Look at everything
they
I'm
doing-
naming. They done already tapped up to
Well,
to
because
tap
what
on
they're
it,
doing is they not necessarily.
and then they're gonna collapse everything.
They're not necessarily.
Then they control the
controlling-
website.
Well,
they
they-
control freedom of speech.
Like she said, they
Prison
control
systems.
the narrative. And what they do is they implant that on us, and we literally will go and plant those seeds
Mm-hmm.
elsewhere. That's the unfortunate part for me. Like when you're having a conversation with somebody, and
Documented.
and you're trying to talk to someone about being, free of mind, and you're like, well, I'm not going to go to college, or I'm not going to go to school this many years, or whatever. And you find that those people, like you said, are less indoctrinated because they have not been just ingrained with all of that bull stuff.
And them is our people that'll
it
fight
was
you
the
for
program.
tradition.
And but those are the people
care
who
that
are
it's ignorant. I
open-minded,
don't
and
give a
you'll
damn.
find them.
Fight you for what?
My daddy died for tradition. You know, we are black folk. How we eat
for people.
chitlins. How they won't let go of them chitlins and them porks and just
Because we
the
are
church and the
programmed
gospel.
to believe that that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to follow that. And your parents teach it to you, and it becomes that. It isn't even about them
I
programming
believe-
you specifically. Now you're being programmed by your own family members, by your own friends, by people that you know that are coming in saying, well, you know what, that's nonsense. What are you talking about? Oh, this programming. Oh, you are indoctrination. That's
my
ridiculous.
grandma did it like that and her grandma did it
There
like
you
that.
go.
I'm gonna do it like
That's
that.
what it
And if
is.
you gonna do it like that
What
too.
is astrology?
black
That's
folk.
evil. Tarot cards. How dare you? And it's like, you're kidding me, right? Because it doesn't fall in line with religion, or it doesn't fall in
And
line with
you know, I talk-
Christianity or whatever. And that's different.
But see, and I'm one of the dudes. I done got the Claybo spirit over here.
Oh, Lord. Oh, he's back.
What's up?
I wish he could have been here for this.
No, but
This would have been profound for him, because she would have just literally dropped so many jewels on him. It would have been like, that's exactly
but my
what I've
thing
been
is,
waiting
how
for.
do we find good in a pagan religion and Roman religion anyway? How do we make good with that?
Well, I knew my husband.
That's the same thing with chitlins. To me,
Yeah, he's
our religion.
asking me if the interview is done. You see where he says you're done, because he's done with training, and he wants to know if I'm done with the interview.
Okay.
Well, you know, Miss Sophia, you got to go over here to Big Mouth, Big Money. You got to go.
Yeah, well, I gotta call him.
Yeah, you can still
Yeah.
call him. We take a break. You can call
Okay.
him. We got one more over here, Big Mouth, Big Money podcast next
Okay,
door.
'cause
You
what I
know.
would do is do part 2.
Okay.
When he is not training, and
you
know,
can actually like
yeah,
continue to
yeah.
expound. We want you to come
Yeah.
back, because I mean, you dropping so many jewels today that it's like
And
it can't fit it in 1 hour.
Oh,
No.
The questions I have, you can't even fit in an hour, because I'm like, tell me about this. What do you think about this? I have so many. So
Oh yeah, and I got a lot to really tell a lot.
oh yeah.
So let me just step out for just a
No,
moment.
we're
and,
gonna, we'll wind
him.
it down anyway, just because,
Yeah.
Because we had such a dope show so far.
Yeah, well, I should have been here for the
Still got
7.
one more.
It's,
No, you're fine.
it's
Yeah.
all right. Don't worry
Can
about
I
it.
do yours tomorrow? Because I have a free day tomorrow. And I could do part 2 tomorrow?
Yeah.
Would that be good?
Uh,
Because I have a free day tomorrow.
I'll be here tomorrow anyway, so yeah.
You'll be here?
Yeah.
I'm
What
actually
time?
coming back tomorrow too, because I didn't book that party.
What
So I'm gonna
time?
come
And
back.
let's do,
Oh, there
let's
you go.
do the
What time?
rest. What time?
Let's
Seven?
do 7:38.
Yeah,
Okay.
that works for you.
Because, yeah, it'll work for me, and I'll drive myself.
Okay,
Okay.
Miss
Okay.
Sophia, thank you so
All
much.
right,
Or
yeah.
Sophia, I
Because
should
I
say.
knew he was going to...
Be ready to
We're
roll.
like 1. So I knew he had already texted me.
Yeah, we'll have you, step over James's first, so you'd be over
Yeah,
there
but
first.
I'll do him. But he didn't have me before. I got to do you.
You gotta
Yeah.
come back and finish.
Yeah.
We can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
excited.
He's already had me a million times when he was at the other place.
Yeah.
Oh well, this is perfect
Yeah,
for us.
me and Floyd Senior.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we will be seeing you tomorrow then, and so excited and ready to ask more questions.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah,
That's dope.
There we go.
Thank you guys.
Are you interviewing me?
Are we interviewing?
Can you do a quick drop?
That's be James right there.
I'm going to see.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
What? Sorry
What?
about what?
I said, I asked him if he was interviewing.
Yeah.
Do you can go right here. Next up, we got
Nah, we're,
We gonna
Sidney
wrap it.
Colston. He's worth the interview, y'all.
yeah,
You gonna have to take this one. My kids gotta go to school.
right. See, that's
We can
that's
do it another time.
yeah.
I'll
'Cause
be in town probably.
Well, y'all look for Sidney
Another couple
Colston.
days.
You know what?
Okay,
how about-
cool. You wanna come when?
I mean tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can you come back?
Is Sophia coming?
She is.
Because I'm with her.
Yeah,
I shot a film that won an Oscar.
most definitely. We'd
Yeah.
love to have you
I
tomorrow.
managed the Supremes. I managed 17
See, I didn't even
Oh
know
no,
that.
you're worth the interview for sure. That's why I said we want you to come back
That's
to the
why I was
show.
asking, did you?
He's like, you sure you don't want
I
Miss
didn't
Vanilla?
James didn't even.
So if you Google me, I'll let you just do that real quick. That's
Oh,
me
of
right
course.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, James didn't give us any word up or
Very
anything.
nice. Look,
That's
that's
an
dope. Oh, I'm
Oscar. I
sorry.
won 2 Oscars.
Hold on. Go
I
ahead,
won
pull it back
Producer
up.
of the Year. I won a Grammy.
Well, you know what? Let's just forget it. Sit on down. Go ahead. Let's do it right now.
Okay,
Sit
hold
down.
on. Let me just tell her.
Okay, sit on down. Let's just knock it down.
Back, Sophia. Handle over there.
Okay, so we're gonna intro you in. So tell us your name again, sir.
Sydney Big Dog Colston.
Man, Mr. Colston,
want me to show
welcome
this?
to the show.
I
It's
got it,
okay if I
Jason.
call you Mr.
Nah, go
Colston?
Are we
ahead.
live?
Sydney,
Oh,
is
we
it
are
okay?
live.
Sydney or not?
Sydney's good.
Okay, good. So tell everybody, because it's impromptu. This is how we do. Like, we literally be sitting
This
here
was
and somebody
literally
roll in.
impromptu. Like,
Wow.
We just
And
roll
two.
in, and he's like, "You sure you don't want to talk to me?"
'Cause,
As a
I'm
matter of
only
fact,
here
we
with
do.
her. That's the only reason why I was here. And she said you might get interviewed, and I said, let me
I
see
think
what they
you
want.
should be because you have a story to tell. So, Mr. Sydney, tell me about what you do.
Well, it's easier to Google me.
Okay.
I'm Googleable. And I started off doing film.
Okay.
Actually, no, music, but got into film.
Okay.
I was casted into a film called Most Wanted with Keenan Wayans.
Nice.
Did another movie called Power Rangers 2.
Okay.
Then I did the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin
I
Lawrence.
love that movie.
That's a good one. Now, that's one of my favorites.
And with that movie, you what'd you do?
I was Rick James the henchman and Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence when they didn't pay their bill. It was myself and Kenny, what's his name? Kenny Whitaker and myself. We were the henchmen for Rick James. So we basically fought with Martin and Eddie Murphy and brought them into Rick.
No.
And I'm the guy who dunked Martin Lawrence in the dunk.
Yeah.
We kept
When he was
dunking him.
upside
That was
down,
you dunking him
Yeah,
in
that
there?
was me. If you watch the movie, you'll see me again.
I'm actually going to retract my steps.
Oh, no worries.
See it. I want to watch it.
And then from there, I did a movie called Fight Club with Ed Norton and Brad Pitt. And
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I was in that movie. I was the speaker for Sickle Cell. And then from there, I did another movie called American History X with Ed Norton.
That's another good one.
I'm in that. I played the gang leader of the black gang for the jail series. And then from there, I starred on television with Terry Crews for 2 years on his chief. Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah, Battle Dome. I was on that for 2 years, mixed martial art fighting. From there, I was on a show. Well, prior to that, I was on a show with Andrew Dice Clay called Hits. Both networks were Paramount networks.
Yeah.
UPN, and then from there, I did like all the black shows, Moesha, Steve Harvey show. I was on all of them as a guest star. Then I lost about 150 pounds. And I did a lot of commercials. I did 140 national commercials.
So you was a lot bigger than what you
I was
were.
huge. I was 360.
Wow.
About 360, something like that. And then I lost, like I said, 140 to 150 pounds. And the casting directors weren't casting me anymore. And then I hooked up with a friend of mine and got on a film called 20 Feet from Stardom. It's about the music industry, and I was a videographer. But that's what I used to look like.
Wow.
And I just was able to, from there, manage some Motown legends because of the film.
You look familiar here too now.
Yeah,
You
I was
know-
on a lot of things back then.
You know what's crazy though is I do notice with Hollywood is with heavy set individuals, once they lose that weight, they kind of don't cast them or do anything with them anymore.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
And it's like I guess it's like as if they lose they
Their character.
Yeah, they lost
feel that. Like they
Yeah.
said, I wasn't jovial anymore.
That's him.
And
Oh, wow. Okay, so it definitely, like, more so of the bouncer type or, like, used for those type of roles, too. Huh?
right, and that was more what they were casting me
So
as.
when you slim down, it was
Right.
like, oh, brother, no, you don't want my sexy look.
Right.
You don't like all this?
So then I was able to shoot the film and just then I worked with Spike Lee after that on a film called Michael Jackson's Journey from Motown to Off the Wall.
Yeah.
And then I shot a documentary for deaf community, and then I won an award for that. And then I shot a deaf community television series in Burbank for the Burbank Networks. And then, won a Grammy. And was able to work with Sophia and been working with Sophia Stewart for a while. Work with a lot of people, mainly Motown legends.
And what do you do with Sophia?
Well, look over the contracts. give her some advice on some of the deals that are going down and
Gotcha.
different things. Yeah.
So you said you manage which artist? Which you said which artist you manage now?
The Supremes.
The Supreme.
Yes, minus Diana Ross and of course Mary Wilson, who just
Right.
passed, which would be left as Sherry Payne and Suze Green.
So you do a lot of that booking out here in Vegas, or
Actually, I haven't done any booking here in Vegas. That's why I'm here now, is to find venues for these artists to perform in, like Sheldon Reynolds from Earth, Wind and Fire. You know, many artists.
Yeah.
Temptations. I deal with
so
Cornelius
let
Grant.
me ask you: do you take on upcoming artists?
Everybody, and if they have potential, I'm not
Right.
gonna take
They
on
gotta
somebody.
have. They gotta
Right.
have potential.
And usually come recommended.
Oh,
Usually.
okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Like that's because when James brought you in, I didn't know who you were. Just because James ain't gave me the
Fly on the
rundown.
wall.
Yeah, right. And but I knew you was in there in the other room. You know, now knowing more of you, you know, and what you do, it's like, well, why wasn't I told about you before? You see what I'm saying? Like, what is going on here? Why are you slacking on this, James? Like,
Yeah,
like
get the whip going.
Get the whip going, bro. Like, how many times I gotta tell you? Give them a call. Bring them on the show. Let's bring them here.
Well, he didn't even know. He just met me yesterday because I was with Sophia.
Yeah.
And basically, we were just having a powwow and trying to figure out what we're going to do, what I'm going to do here in Vegas, because I'm new. I really live in both L.A. and Utah, so it's a middle ground for me. And now I want to bring some artists here while things are starting to open up and try to see what I can do with bringing talent here.
So as far as bringing the talent here, are you gonna be frequent here in Vegas?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm trying to be here every other day,
got you.
if possible.
Are you trying to find residencies for like the Supremes and all that?
Everybody.
Got
Yep.
you.
I have a roster more than what I've just named. It's just all I need is the venue and somebody who wants to do something together.
So let me ask you this: when it comes to, you know, getting a venue, and you got these main artists, which lots of people know about,
But they don't support it like you would think they do. The local people, for some reason, they're not like the name like Justin Bieber or Rihanna, who's hot right now. Like Rihanna's great and all, but
yeah,
also people don't pay homage to the older artist in time when that's who made what everybody is today.
right.
They don't, how should I say, gratify the artist in today's culture. Like they don't bring, hey, pay them the same or pay them equal, which is the same, but pay them what they're worth. You know, these
Right.
are artists that are legends, and people don't really support that anymore. Like real music. You
Nah,
don't
they
even hear
don't.
Real music.
They
Tell me where's the last time you heard real music?
Well, you know, depends. I guess it depends on what you consider like real music. Because a lot of cats, you know, like for example, I'll give you an example. When we were growing up, we didn't like our parents' music as much, and our parents most definitely didn't like our music at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can have an older gentleman saying, "Yeah, this is real music," and then you got somebody in next generation under saying, "Yeah, this is real music." So it's a matter, I guess, in perspective, like what is considered the real music,
Not sampled.
not sampled. Okay, that's
Because if you take one,
and a lot of these
genre-
cats that are sampling from like
no, not a lot, all the cats that are
right
sampling
from the older generations.
from something that they heard prior
Right.
off an album, off of something.
I made a song from BB King's song, "The Love Is Gone."
Yeah.
I made a song. I heard the beat and I was like, "Oh man, I gotta make
Now,
a
did
song."
that get in circulation on terrestrial radio and played and got to scan?
Right. So that's and what's funny about the BB King song, the "Love Is Gone" is I never heard it as far as in whole with him. I just heard the beat.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I want to play. I want to do that song. And then I made a song called "The Love Is Gone." Yeah, which was weird. And then I played the song for an older friend of mine, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like BB King's song." I was like, "Whose song?" It was like, that sounds just like kind of like B.B. King's song. I was like, hold on, let me hear. And I was like, what song? They were like, oh, The Love Is Gone. And I played it. I was like, how the hell did that happen? I was like, but you know what I look at it is certain sounds, they'll play, it'll literally tell you what it's for. And I kind of was like, well, that tells you right there. This song was meant to be played that way.
Correct.
You know, for this specific, you know, this specific reason of why this song is made. Like, his was The Love Is Gone. Mine was the love, I forgot, whatever. But you see what I'm saying? So no matter what, that beat has to be played for The Love Is Gone or something, you know, with that tune.
And at that point, they would call that in pocket. So, which would mean everything lines up in pocket because people play off of sound of what they're hearing, what their flow is, and that's called in pocket. So you don't even have to read the charts; you just are in pocket with what the tune is flowing to. So
Right.
That's a real artist, and that's what I'm talking about. Somebody who's real. Versus here's somebody that takes a sample, puts it in a digital tuner, and changes maybe one note, but still samples the original somehow. There's only 12 notes anyway, so it's going to be sampled some way, somehow. Nobody in today's age is coming up with a new lick.
Right.
Nobody. So how they arrange it is how it's going to sound, because you could have a sound that, if you look at Whitney Houston and Dolly Parton sample, Dolly Parton sang it this way, Whitney Houston sang it this way. It's the same song. Whitney Houston's was huge. Same song. Dolly Parton still got paid off of what Whitney Houston did because it was a cover. Just like one of my artists, Mabel John, her brother did the song Fever. But Peggy Sue got all the credit because she did a cover of his song. Because it was really written by a man for a woman, and Peggy Sue was a woman sang it for a man. Gave him a hit when Peggy Sue sang it. It was already a hit. Little Willie John was a huge hit, but people don't even know about him. But James Brown, Willie got James Brown his first deal. Willie was a megastar. If you watch some of these old movies, you'll see who Willie is.
No, I haven't even heard of the guy.
Right. But I guarantee you, if you Google Willie John, you'll be like, wow, I didn't even know he did that. He did that. He was a big megastar before James Brown. And he got, like,
And he wrote James Brown's music.
So James Brown did a tribute when Willie died. James Brown did a tribute album to Willie John for Willie. That's how much he loved Willie John. Because
That's crazy.
But Willie John was with Duke Ellington, Count Basie. That's who he was.
Yeah.
And he was a prodigy. He was like an Elvis back in the day, but people don't know about it. But that's
Elvis didn't even write his music.
And this is his sister, Mabel John, who has a hit song, A Good Thing Will Never End. It's a blues song. So if you know about blues, that's her song.
Huh.
A Good Thing is going to Come to an End. Google that song and you'll hear it. That's her.
And it's called A Good Thing to Come to an
Yeah,
End.
if you ever seen the film Honey Dripper with Danny Glover, it's the theme song. The end
Honey
title.
Dripper.
Yeah, it's the title.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
That's sweet. So let me ask you this: what type of venues are you trying to get your artists into?
A venue that's classy and somewhere that people come and enjoy themselves and listen to old school music and actual music, not just fly-by-nighters. These are people who already established themselves back in the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Right.
And beyond. It's not limited. It's just I'm looking to bring talent here and get things going.
So you're looking at doing more than one venue here?
Yes, as many as possible because I have many artists that I deal with. So.
Okay. So do you have ever, like, with all these artists that you have, do you have some open up for some of your artists, or?
I can, and there has been people who's opened up for these artists, and also there has been like a magician act come up too also.
Oh.
So I do both. I try to incorporate both because I'm into those both worlds.
With the magicians.
Correct.
So who do you bring on with the magicians?
I'd bring out Lorenzo Clark or somebody like a David Zerbell, who's the world's tallest magician, or even we'd probably try to work on a lot of other people like Jonathan Pendragon or somebody like that. Yeah.
I got you.
Or even because I deal with the Magic Castle, so there's many opportunities of other artists that are magicians to be there.
Cause all right, so tell me this, cause I don't know much as far as the role you play. Okay, as far as the management part, like I've never managed anybody, never looked into
it's hard work. It's like a big babysitter of adults.
Babysitter of adults. I can feel it, man. So
but they're good people, so
Right. But you gotta
hey,
cater to who they
you
are.
Do have to,
You gotta cater to
Correct.
who they are. You gotta cater to different personalities.
Correct.
Because I do surgery for a living. I'm a surgical tech, so I gotta cater.
Yeah?
I gotta cater to several different doctors' personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And play different roles. Like okay.
And they all have different personalities. Everybody.
Right, they do.
And so you got to switch at the time of the dime.
You do.
Or on the dime at the time.
Right.
Either way you want to put it.
Either way you want to put it, you got to switch. And you got to make it quick. And you do, and it's funny because you do have to you do have to switch to those personalities. But let me ask you though, as far as dealing with all these artists and these personalities and setting up these shows, do you ever just like rent a location out, like
Four-walling.
huh?
That's called four-walling.
Four-walling.
Yes.
All right.
You four-wall.
Okay.
All four walls, you're paying for it. I've done that many times. And that's the hardest way to do it is use your own money. But the best way is to get a sponsor. And then that way it's the whole thing isn't on you. And because it gets costly because you're bringing
Right.
in artists, you got to do preparations for location, where they're staying, lodging, food, travel.
Right.
That could be healthy.
I like the way you put it, because man, you're right. They're gonna get fat.
Somebody is.
Somebody is, But you look at the term. Either way it goes, that account wherever it is going, where that money's going, it's getting fat, here you go some more.
Right.
It's getting real healthy here. That's fun. I like the way you use that. I'll probably have to use that term when. Yeah, it's getting healthy, guys. And it doesn't. I ain't even meaning physically, health wise, body wise, nothing. Just God, we're losing out on a lot. That's funny. Because I kind of feel like that a little bit with this, because we don't have any sponsors here or anything like that yet. And we just started about almost 2 weeks ago.
On a daily basis?
The first week it was a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And then I brought Nikki on, and I wanted to be more structured. Mm-hmm. So we're working on, as far as getting more structured, certain days, certain times as well.
You need to get some sponsors that you can drop some logos, like some ads or drops in what they call it, drops, and just have them pay for your process.
Right.
Because somebody has to, unless you want to keep doing it yourself and come out of your own pocket.
Well, it wasn't that. It was more or less for reason why we haven't went and looked for sponsors yet. It's just because I kind of felt like we didn't have the product yet. We didn't have videos out. We didn't have episodes out already. Showing the world what we already doing. So like I could be wrong on that, but at the same time, I just was like, well, how can we go ask for a sponsor if we didn't even have a product?
Well,
I mean, we had the
I'm
room.
gonna give you an example.
We had the room. We had all this.
Did you have a business plan?
Yeah.
And you showed your sponsor, potential sponsor, the business plan.
We haven't even approached any sponsors.
Well, and then,
but we do have. I have on my computer. I could show you as far as
But you're gonna need a business plan to actually get a sponsor. That's just right at one-on-one. Just gonna give you a heads up.
Well.
Unless you got somebody that just says, "Hey, I'm going to donate X, Y, Z to you guys just for the cause."
So
which can happen. I'm not saying it can't.
No. I'm like I said, I'm still learning the process. Mm-hmm. But as far as asking for those sponsors, because I always figured, you would have to have a product. They would need to see a product first.
No, paper. If for that specific thing, like this, you're ahead of the game by doing it because you already did it. Versus, hey, I need to do this because here's the paperwork saying this is my budget plan, this is all my business plan for the next 2 years, 3 years, whatever.
Yeah.
However, now you can say, this is what our plan is, this is what I've already expenditures are, and future expenditures are going to be the same for the week, month, whatever. Now you can go to a sponsor and say, hey, this is my plan. I already know what I'm going to spend a week. I already know what, if I do this 12 times a year, 24 times a year, 36, 38, 50, whatever the number you come up with, this is what it's going to cost. This is what we need to run it every week. Can you give us a sponsor commitment to 500,000, 10,000 every time I mention your name on air, live? So that advice I give you, because I'm going to tell you right now, I usually charge $3.50 an hour, so giving you some advice is costly.
I was gonna say because
it's costly.
It is,
and
but
healthy.
I was even gonna say then too. Like I don't even think I have the mouthpiece to go out and do that kind of, those kind of deals. You see what I'm saying? Like yeah, I can sit here and draw up something, but as far as actually putting that mouth out there, it's like I think I would freeze up.
Well, see, that's what I do.
Right.
Normal. So for me, it's nothing. It's
right.
like second nature, but not everybody. But you'll learn. I mean, if that's what you want to do, anybody can learn. It's not like, hey, I can't do that. But yeah, anybody can do anything. So what I'm saying is, I was just giving you free advice because I'm here and we're gonna chop it.
I mean, I appreciate that, greatly. I mean, that's why I asked the question more into it. Like, well, what about how you go about doing that and this? And again, like I said, I'm still learning. Before this, I was just video game streaming and just going to work. But I was like, I like talking. I like talking to people. I like digging into their minds, stuff like that. Well, I might as well do a podcast. Bring on people and let's talk about it. See this and educate me, or let's educate the people or something. But yeah.
I don't have a problem teaching a class. We get the master class right here.
The class paying.
Good, because I do master classes. Actually, I was on the Masterminds, panel in Hollywood about 4 years ago when I was talking about movies and films and different things about the business. Usually all you need to know about the music business and the film business and all that. So I put together different items all the way across from starting from writing a script to putting it on the big screen and writing a script and putting it on the silver screen.
So like, because all you're doing right now for me is like going, so have you ever thought about putting on like events and doing that? Like
I do that.
I mean, like right now, like how can I put it like as far as like,
because I'm trying to find a venue to do some events right now.
To teach these courses, or
I would like to do that too. I'd be a speaker, no problem.
See, that's what I'm speaking on. As far as like, would you be like not like a motivational speaker?
No,
but not. I want to say somebody like, I don't want to say like Tony Robbins,
but like an infomercial style.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about? Because I mean, there's a lot of people who will pay for that information.
I know this.
So like, have you ever done like those? Big.
No, I should though.
Yeah. You should.
Let's make it happen.
I mean, let's make it happen, brother. But because I mean, like for example, like I know a lot of artists out there who would need a manager, who knows a thing or two, but also they just the knowledge of what you're putting out there with that. You see what I'm saying, and the experience of being in the field as well.
Correct.
Being in the movies and all that, and so like. I'm not saying, give your information away free, work for free. No, that doesn't happen in America.
Right.
But I know a lot of people though who don't have that connection, that resource to actually have somebody who can actually get you maybe somewhere. You see what I'm saying? Or knows more about the business and can help you get to there.
Right.
So yeah, that's why I'm like, have you thought about, doing like those events and stuff like that? Because if that's the case, I always love putting on stuff like that and just helping people. Mm-hmm. That's part of the reason why I got in healthcare. I just love helping people. even if it is just sometimes, here it's free, whatever. But that's just me. I just love it. And two, I always see it like this. One thing we learned in healthcare is your success is my success, and my success is your success.
Correct.
So as long as we,
The more you give, the more you get.
right,
Guaranteed.
exactly,
It's reciprocal. Trust me.
and
I've given a lot, and I get a lot. I'm not even going to say I don't. But I've struggled too before.
right,
I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be successful too. But I also know what it feels like to say, hey, I'm content and it's good enough. And I'm willing to, sacrifice, compromise, barter, all that. As a human being, just to be fair to everybody. To give everybody a fair chance. That's all. That's all I've ever asked from anybody. Hey, you give me a fair chance, I give you a fair chance. You treat me like I want to be treated, and I treat you like how you want to be treated. If we work together, we should have no problems.
And see, that's part of the reason why we started this show. Why I started this show is I wanted to, be that middle link of getting people that next step up, helping them get to where that next step up, whether it will be gaining more exposure or just knowing some information and passing that information on.
Right. 'Cause information is knowledge and power. Both of them work together.
I was telling one of my guests the other day I want to be the king of information.
Yeah.
Like,
Because that information highway, sometimes doesn't tell you the right shit. They don't, excuse my French, but I speak English.
well, you're right though. It doesn't always tell you the right shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the truth. Look at our education system. Mm-hmm. They've been lying to us for the longest.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, and I'm being honest, and I'm not embarrassed to even say this. I didn't even know what Juneteenth Day was until they made it legal 2 years ago, a year ago, or maybe last year, actually.
Right.
I knew what Juneteenth was, but I didn't know what Juneteenth meaning was.
The historical value of it.
Right.
I didn't either, brother. I didn't either. Yo,
So-
I'll be honest with you. I used to ask our team, what does Juneteenth mean? Like,
Right.
it's just Juneteenth. But a lot of people don't even actually know that Juneteenth ain't even the actual date of when the historical thing happened as well. So,
Right, because it was like 80 days, they didn't let the guys know, or something
Right.
like that, or they
Right.
didn't let the people know, hey, you were free, or something like that.
they had to
It was
wait
like-
some time,
Right,
yo.
right,
It was wild. But we celebrating on Juneteenth, though.
Right.
But it happened months prior.
Right, exactly.
But-
so, I grew up in Boston, which is predominantly white.
Yeah.
So, I didn't get educated with a lot of black knowledge. And I was like, wow, because I'm still learning. Every day. I try to take in as much as I can and be like, wow, man, they kept a lot from me.
Well, that's the thing about like a lot of people don't know about history, and that's the thing about when you got one culture trying to dominate or destroy another culture, they destroy that history. Mm-hmm. And they try to assimilate you into their history.
Correct.
And make you believe that. So, a lot of people, like you and myself, we still learning. Like, well, damn, I didn't know that. Like,
Right.
What's going on here? But that also, the funny thing about that is about learning that new information, though. That information that should have been taught in schools is it pisses you off.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hold on now, why are you doing this?
Right.
What is the whole goal? And then you find out, oh, it's some old sinister shit. Like, oh, okay. So you pulling the old fuck you boy on me, huh? Like, okay. Let's see what can I do about it? Oh, just ignore it now because it really ain't shit I can do.
Right, too late.
It's too late.
That was 20 years ago. Let me see. Man.
Right. Like, okay, well.
Another day, man.
Another day, man. You're absolutely right, bro. I mean, but it is what it is, and you just from there you just have to teach that from here on forward.
Mm-hmm.
But
Some people don't want to listen too. Some people have deaf ears and blind eyes.
or don't or refuse
To believe, right? That hey, I didn't see that happen. Really?
I'll give you an example, man. Like, cause one of our days here on the spot is on Thursdays. We want to have a hot topic Thursdays. Mm-hmm. We talk about what is a hot topic in the country, around the world, whatever. But that's the topic we're gonna discuss for the day. And I just started at this surgery center where I'm at now, and I have a coworker who she's mixed with black and white. Mm-hmm. And I'm mixed with black and white, but you can't tell she's mixed with black and white until she pulls off her cap and you see her hair, and you're like, well, honestly, you didn't even come off as black. None of that. You see what I'm saying? But there was a reason behind why she didn't come off as black. And it was because she started talking to me. She was like, yeah, well, you know, my mom is a closet racist. And you go, how the hell did that work out? You know, like...
That would be true. Like, that would be a good oxymoron question. Well,
It's
so
a major
she
oxymoron,
hates
right?
you then?
Well, that's the thing too. That's the other thing too. That's the thing that you know you start to ask. But she started explaining to me how her mother treated her compared to her sister, who is also mixed with black and white, but she has more of the white hair texture than the black hair texture, and so. Like she treated her sister like, oh yeah, you know, you have the beautiful hair, you know, you're beautiful, and then looked at her, oh yeah, you got the bad hair, this and that. That subliminal racism, you know what I'm saying? That oh, let me belittle you and demoralize you because you don't look this way. And I was just like, yeah, I would love to have you on the show. Like, yeah, I'm your coworker and all whatever whatnot, but just this story alone is interesting to me because. Even like my mom, you know, her parents had her arrested for dating my dad. Yeah, yo, so you sit there and be like, I've never really met somebody who how can I say, whose parents are racist or how can I say, or closet racist. But she's like, yeah, my mom, she's a closet racist. Like, she really doesn't like me now because I embrace my black side. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but then the other thing is this, is for me, it's like, I don't understand how somebody like her sister who completely denies she has black in her. Like, I can understand, you know, you not being raised around, you know, your black side of your family, being around that culture. You see what I'm saying? Experiencing that. You see what I'm saying? I can understand you saying, yeah, you know, I've never been around that. So I can't, you know, I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatnot.
She doesn't identify herself.
But she completely, no, I'm white. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's even more mind-boggling for me because I'm like, how can you deny what's actually in your blood?
Yeah. So what do you say to your dad? Like, if your dad's black?
Exactly.
That's not my dad? I don't know.
And that's like I asked her, I was like, so let's look at me, for example. I was like, I've been around my black side my entire life. My white side, I barely know him. But I'm not going to sit there and deny my white side.
Right.
Like, how because it's part of you. Like, how can you just deny it's obvious? You see what I'm
There's
saying?
a lot of people in my situation, just to give you a little insight. So I'm Panamanian and black. My grandfather on my dad's side, my dad's dad is white. On my mom's side, my mom's dad is Indian, Hispanic, Latin.
Yeah.
And my grandmother is Costa Rican. So I'm a mutt all around. So when people talk to me about race, I go, man, I can't be racist. I got all
There's
races.
no fucking way, bro. Like my grandma, my dad's mom, she's black and Cuban. She's from Savannah, Cuba, right?
I'm going to take a picture because I usually take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of this right here so we can see this in future dates. Let's see here. This interview live.
Bam.
And we can look at the camera. oh, where's your camera? On the top?
Right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you know, we upgrading in the process. That's
no,
why
I'm just asking.
That's why we had like Jamon here, the gentleman with the son that you was hanging out with. He, you know, he's our
Production guy.
Our camera guy. Yeah, he has all the good cameras and stuff like that. And we're still upgrading. We working on it.
I think it's good. I think it's.
But
you got to start somewhere.
You got to.
And the fact that you started is a good thing.
And the other thing is I call it the spot because let's look at it like this. Whenever you hanging out with your pals or whatever, and you like, yo, I'm finna go over here. But I'm finna do something. They ask you, well, where you headed? To the spot.
Yep.
How many times do you hear that? To the spot.
Yeah, I'm going to the spot.
All right. Well, what happens at the spot? Anything can happen at the spot.
Yeah.
We might all of a sudden be in a deep conversation, or we might be in some crazy wild ass off the wall HR conversation. Who knows?
Exactly.
And the big thing is I the biggest thing is I want people to be themselves. I don't want them playing a role, and the reason for it is because your viewers, your fans. Like, I'm not worried about my fans, my viewers. It's more or less for you. So like, you want your viewers to know who you are, be more down to earth. Let them know that. Like, for example, one of my favorite actors is Seth Rogen.
Oh,
you know
cool.
what I'm saying? Yeah. And I smoke weed, but
Most people do.
And I'm like, yo, you see Seth Rogen, I'm like, yo, man, I bet it'd be cool as hell to hang out with Seth Rogen.
He's a connoisseur and also a advocate.
Yeah, he is. But you want your fans to say that about you. Like, yo, I would love to hang out with him. I bet it'd be like this, chilling with him, smoke one with him, whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I want the viewers to, perceive who I have on as far as guest-wise. Is, I want them to be comfortable, relaxed, be you. Some guests, they come on, they smoke. All right, smoke. One guest came on with a big 2 liter of some soda. I was like, all right, I didn't expect that to happen, But hey, it's the spot. Anything, wild shit happens at the spot. So yeah, that's my goal here. So like, I don't know how you would put that on as a business plan.
Anything can happen at the spot. If you got followers and you have just a goal, first of all, because your business plan will be part of your goal.
Oh yeah, we got the goal. We got a plan as far as where we want to go and what we want to do with it.
But we would have to talk about this off camera and then go from there until we figure out what we're going to do.
Right.
That's what I would do.
So back to why you on then.
I'm just on to fill up some time.
No, I enjoy it, brother. Cause now honestly, I want to ask you personally. I'd be the one to ask you, like, yo, bring some of your artists on here.
Okay.
We'd love to talk to them. Love to sit here and
most of them are in LA, so getting them here is
right.
So we got to figure out something, and we do something.
I mean, even I can get it set up virtually. I just got to work on that.
Yeah, we can do that. That's even easier.
Right, and
cost efficient too.
It would be, but it's also a little more technical when you add in.
Not really.
Add in the stream. Well, because I got to get it set up, and I got to see how that gets set. Because the problem is for us.
What's your bandwidth?
Well, the bandwidth ain't the problem. The problem that I'm experiencing is because I've already done a Zoom, but the problem is that instead of their volume, their audio wasn't coming through. It wasn't coming through my speakers or nothing like that. So I have to get my headphones.
But you can still go audio out when your audio out to a bigger speaker, you can go to any type of speaker from the audio out of the television.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you got a mixer. You need a mixer.
Like what I'm saying though is like everything else plays just fine.
Yeah, but you need something to enhance their audio.
Yeah, I ain't got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live.
Okay. You on? You don't want to be on?
So you dropped Sophia off?
Yeah, I had to go drop the Oracle off.
The Oracle.
Yep, the Oracle.
The Queen.
The Oracle.
I'm gonna send you these photos that we took just now. I'm gonna take another one with you right here because we were trying to do the. You gotta lean in though. And we're taking this off of live.
Bam.
And we got Coach Carter in the background.
Oh, you
Coach
gotta
Carter.
have, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But no, man, like, yeah, I still got to work on that aspect because that's the only thing that was missing was the audio. So I couldn't hear them, but I believe they were able to hear me and everything, but I just couldn't hear them.
Yeah, that's what I have to do is add a mixer to it.
So, however, I don't know how to do that yet. That's the one.
Live callers that's calling in.
Yeah, well, for like if they're in another state, the guests, you know what I'm saying, like doing a Zoom or whatever. I just got to be able to get their audio in. I couldn't get it in, so
Did you do the testing?
Work out the kinks.
Well, we weren't live or anything. We were trying to test it out, and that's when I realized, I think they can hear me, but they couldn't. I couldn't hear nothing from them, and so I figured it was because like I've done like virtual job interviews, and I always had to put on my headphones.
Yeah.
So
It's
and I got the
enhanced.
headphones and all that, but I just don't have the ability to do it without the headphones. So I'm working on that right now. But
that might not be bad either to have the headphones if you have other guests. Because normally on a podcast, everybody would have the headphones on. And then they would be just talking, and there'd be mics all set up for everybody.
And
I've done podcasts.
And that's what we're working on. But, you know, again, like you said,
sponsor.
Everything has a budget. So
that's the number one thing. What did I say?
Budget. Let's get one. Let's get it. Big Mouth, Big Money. The Spot Podcast.
We're working on it, G.
Little Mouth, No
Y'all
Money.
See what we doing?
Little Mouth, No Money.
Get in where you
yo,
fit in.
I loved it. Yo. Little Mouth, No
Little
Money.
Mouth, No Money right here.
Right here.
Need more money, like, you know, I need money.
We're working on it.
You know the guy, you ever watch How High when he said, I need money, was across, you ever seen the movie?
Yeah.
How High? It's, I need money.
Let's get it. As one.
Yeah.
Yo, that movie was funny, though. Yo, I ain't gonna front. Method Man.
You got weed. I got the blunt.
Yeah.
And the shit blew everywhere. Yo, I love that movie.
Let's come together.
That movie was dope, though. But no, like, let me ask you this. So, I guess, how could we put on like some kind of event, man? Like my man got some great ideas. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, like,
I'm on that now. I'm looking
they
for
better
the
not
venue.
be ideas because I did them already. So shit, they're past ideas.
right?
How about this?
Concept.
We going
that
for
we need to execute.
We need to repeat. How about that? We can repeat what are already established to do. We just need venue. Somebody that says, hey, I want to bring, who do you have? Well, we can bring the Temptations. Well, we can bring the music director of the Temptations and a version of the Temptations. Then we can bring the Supremes. We got them. We can bring, let's see, many other artists that are still alive. We just need to go through the alive. Evelyn Champagne, King, Switch, El DeBarge.
Yeah, I'm
El
old school.
DeBarge,
So all
huh?
of them is who I
You
want.
got El DeBarge.
Shalimar, all those guys.
That's
Those
what
are the people I
grew
deal
up on,
with.
So
That's what I'm saying. I already got those
Yeah.
people. So they're looking at me because I'm younger than them to say, let's do something. And I already brought them to a place and we did something already.
yeah, so they already know what you capable of
Correct. Correct. So it's not like, hey, you can't get, okay, who do we want to talk to? Let's talk to them. Okay, let's call them direct. Hey, you ready? Do you want to work on this? What's the budget? That's the first question that
man,
they
when you
say.
told me, because I did one show with Sherry Gordy at the Tequila, and you said you brought that.
I brought the artist.
That's what I'm saying. So I already know what you work and what you do.
In fact, she just posted today. She said she was doing better today. Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. She said.
Everybody say your prayers up for my queen,
Yeah.
Sister Sherry Gordy.
Yep.
I'm
Amen.
praying for you.
Amen.
She's gonna come through. She's always been strong. So hey,
Yeah. Amen.
get well soon, Queen.
It's unbelievable. Did you
And
see her in
come
the
to the
bed?
podcast.
Did you see her in the bed?
Yes.
She was with Jasper and
Yeah.
I don't recognize the younger girl, but I recognize the older girl because she's always with her all the time.
I think I remember her name too. She actually was always at the same spot. The girl that's next to her,
Mm-hmm.
she was there all the time too.
That's unbelievable.
Oh,
That is some funny. Unbelievable. That was August 5th. August 5th.
But yeah, it used to go down when y'all had that going on. I done seen everybody at that spot.
Everybody.
Cameo, Lenny Williams.
Yep. I was with Lenny at the Hall Awards. We did the Heroes and Legends of Motown.
Poo Poo Man,
Yeah.
Gene Anderson, everybody. All the Motown stars was at that time. What, about 2 years ago? Sherry Gordy presents.
2018, I think.
She had it going on.
Was it 2018? 2000?
Yeah, I think about a year or two. About 2 years ago.
Let me see where I said this shit.
We actually even threw a party for Floyd and Roger. I think it was Roger's birthday party. I got the tape. I performed at that time.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was all night too. It was all night. See, I just sent, this is prayers going, see, I heard you in the hospital. Yeah. That's Sherry right there. That was Sherry. Gordy.
Prayers up for the queen.
Yeah, she's good. Her dad I worked with a bunch of times.
And from Motown, yeah. You can't
Her daddy.
get around
Her
that.
daddy.
So let me ask you this, bro. Let me ask you this.
That's her daddy. Right there. Barry Gordy. And Stevie Wonder. And Spike Lee. And we're in a magazine together.
Yeah.
We're in a bunch of magazines together, actually.
So let me ask you this, man. What I have here, what is it that I could do for you?
Right now, it was just
Find a venue.
find a venue and basically a sponsor that wants to take charge of saying, hey, let's get these artists performing.
And what kind of venue are you looking for?
Clubbish, 300 plus, 10,000 plus if we do it with multiple artists. Almost like a big show, like a concert.
But it has to be capacity 300 plus.
Oh, well, the concert, we would mean thousands plus. But if we can do an intimate thing, maybe. If we do an intimate thing, 100 plus. Because it wouldn't be worth doing less than 100 people.
Right.
All of my producers and promoters, hit me in the DM. Let me know something. If y'all got a spotted venue, can we work together as one? We got the man that can book all the top artists. All we looking for is the venue. But you know what? I got you covered, my brother. Don't even
He
try.
got me covered.
I got you covered.
He got me covered. And on that note, we say peace, love, and soul.
And if they we find a venue, what are they gonna be like as far as what are things they're gonna need?
The venue?
Yeah.
Well,
like,
hopefully they got sound set up and a lighting set up. Yeah, and somewhere where you could probably do concessions,
Cause I know a couple.
which is merchandise and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. 'Cause I mean that gives me a good idea of like some places.
Cool.
Yeah. Guys, we're gonna shut it down for the night. I gotta get up in the morning anyways.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed this podcast, especially now that you came on here as well.
Thank you. Thank you for having
We're gonna
me.
have to, you know,
Oh, man,
every
this
time
be your
you
home base right here, bro.
every time you come into town, bro, you know we
Let's build,
have you
my
on the
brother.
show.
Cool.
It'd be even better though if we had a heads up.
Yeah, you know how I do. I don't be working on an itinerary. I gotta work on that, y'all. God is working on me as He is working on you. Amen.
Because if we had
Amen.
if we had a heads up, we'd be more organized and more prepared. You
It's
know
all
what I'm
good.
saying? So
Impromptu is all good.
it is, but it threw me off. I wasn't ready. And then not even knowing exactly who you was and stuff. That kind of made me like.
I'm doing
That kind of made me upset because I'm like, yo, this doesn't look good for me because I should know who you are, who I'm having on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just have, well, who are you?
But
You see what I'm saying? You didn't want, I don't want none of
He
that.
wasn't scheduled.
Yeah.
I know
He
that.
popped up as a support for Miss Sophia.
Yeah.
See, that's what I tell you.
I know, but I didn't even know that. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know anything, yo. Like I was in the dark. Like he was in the room for a while there, yo.
Yeah, I
He
was
was over
talking
that
about
big mouth, big money.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, so
I prepped him up to come over here, and you supposed to prep Miss Sophia to come over there, but we gonna work on it.
we got
That's how we gonna run them back and forth,
So-
like a basketball drill, you know.
But yeah, G, you know,
Big
I'm
mouth, big
I'm
money.
all ready for
In
it,
conjunction
guys.
with the Spot
Check it out
Podcast,
tomorrow
y'all,
night for
and we
Thursday-
out.
for Thursday night hot topic.
Peace, love, and soul.
Yeah,